Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of my series called Character One on One, where I give you a one-on-one a certain character that you may not be familiar with. Now, this is a very special episode because this is technically a belated Halloween. I decided to make this theme somewhat Halloween themed, even though it is belated. Obviously, Halloween was yesterday. So, with that being said, um, I've decided to dedicate this episode to not only one of the best, but to what I personally consider to be one of the scariest villains in all the comics and fiction. A villains that to me is so scary that even the X-Men themselves fear. And not too many beings nor villains scare the X-Men. Now, this is a character that's surprising to my eyes is Mike Tyson's personal favorite. As a matter of fact, back in 2012, in a conversation with the comic book legend Stan Lee, Mike Tyson revealed to him that this character is his number one favorite comic book character of all time. This character is one of the greatest villains in X-Men history, as well as one of my personal favorite, if not my personal favorite villain of the X-Men. This is a character that has a strong belief in not only supremacy for the mutant race, but is an extremist in the strongest of the survival of the fittest mentality, where the strong survive and the weak are destroyed. This character is one of the most powerful mutants in the entire Marvel Universe. Hell, he's one of the most powerful beings on Earth in the Marvel Universe. This character is none other than Sabah Nur, aka Apocalypse. He was created by Bob Layton, Louise Simonson, and Jackson Guice. He made his first appearance as an unnamed character in Marvel graphic novel number 17 in July of 1985, but made his first full appearance in X Factor issue 5 in March of 1986. And this is a character that has been a huge thorn in the X-Men side for a very long time. As a matter of fact, he has been a major thorn in a lot of villains' side. I mean, he's even had a bit of a rivalry with Dracula. He's had some clashes with Thor and the Hulk from time to time in the comic books. But at the end of the day, this dude is a force to be reckoned with. I mean, his name Sabah Nur is translated as the Seven Lights, and he was the first of the second generation of mutant kind. He was born in ancient Egypt thousands of years ago, and is part of a substantial race of mutants called the Externals, which are known as immortal mutants. He was abandoned at birth due to his monstrous appearance. He was found and was raised by a ruthless nomadic warrior. He would then be forced into slavery, where his powers allowed him to turn on his mask and conquered all that stood in his way. He's over the years he has been worshipped as a god throughout various cultures, and he's even known to create his own army known as his Horsemen of Apocalypse. And there was a point in time where he got recruited by these powerful beings known as Celestials. And the enhancers formed so much where he became a mixture of organic and celestial technology. However, it also boosted his powers to godlike levels. So Apocalypse is basically one of those dudes that you do not want to cross paths with. You do not, especially in a dark alley. And he's that dude when it comes to being a formidable villain, when it comes to being a formidable force to be reckoned with. He's just that guy. So yeah, he's just that guy. So they give you some little history on the character. A little bit more history on the character, excuse me. He was able to make a few Marvel characters his horsemen. Angel, the Hulk, Gambit, Wolverine, and Iceman. So those are basically like 5 characters that you guys are familiar with. that he was able to transform into his horseman. Of course, that didn't last very long. They both managed to fight their way against his control and basically somewhat resume their regular lives. Now, Apocalypse, um, obviously at times would form a partnership with an evil geneticist called Mr. Sinister, who I'm sure a lot of you guys are somewhat familiar with. Mr. Sinister is an evil mutate. He's a geneticist that tries to do a wide variety of experiments, especially on mutants. And there are times where he would form a partnership with Apocalypse. So there's that. As for me personally, my first exposure to this legendary and iconic character was through the legendary and iconic 1992 X-Men animated series. But what really made me understand the grand scheme of things when it came to this character was the 2005 X-Men video game, X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse. That right there, I gained a sense of how powerful this character was, how formidable this character was, and how extremely dangerous this character. Like, this character is no damn joke. And yeah, Apocalypse is he's him, if we're gonna go that route. As a he would even be a huge thorn in Cable's life. You know, he would even, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, especially from X-Men the animated series, or the biggest foe that Cable would go up against in his timeline, in his future time, is Apocalypse. Matter of fact, there was a point where Cable was so powerful that he woke Apocalypse from his hibernation. I don't know about you, but that's pretty damn impressive. There was a point in time where he formed the Alliance of Evil, a team of mutants to set up technologically advanced safe houses all over the world. And yeah, he basically, did that to shit, basically to, trying to think, to help him take over the world, begin his plan for world domination and all that. He even did this during the time when the Mutant Registration Act was passed by the U.S. government, so that he even used his scheme to blackmail a mutant with a really bad addiction called Michael Nolan. Michael Nolan. Oh, this mutant called the Source. That's interesting. Never heard of him. But yeah, Apocalypse, he's he even was somewhat played a huge role in the Onslaught saga. If you don't know who Onslaught was, he once, I'm sorry, Onslaught, for those who don't know, is an extremely powerful psychic entity created from the dark minds of Professor Xavier Magneto, and he's a very powerful being. There was a point where, under persuasion by Owatu the Watcher, Apocalypse had to make an alliance with his arch rival Cable, and so yeah, um, but yeah, just to name a few events that Apocalypse was part of. Obviously, recently he's part of the fall of the Hair of Apocalypse event, where he would assemble a team consisting of Cable, Mirage, Emma Frost, and Forge, Mr. Sinister 2, help him take over, Croatia, help him take over, sorry, where he would return to Mars. Where he would basically help him take over not only Croatia but Iraq as well. You know, things like that. Um, so yeah, just to name a few things about Apocalypse. As I said before, he's part of a mutant race known as the Externals, which are immortal mutants. And it's also been implied that he may have been implanted with a dead seed. So here are the many powers and abilities of Apocalypse. Immortality. He has lived for thousands of years. You can't really kill him. If you do kill him, he's returned. He'll come back over time. He has salt resurrection, meaning he has retroactive immortality. He's been shown to resurrect himself in various ways, but due to being enhanced by his celestial technology and being exposed to different types of techno-organic viruses in which he made his own, he's been able to come back from unique ways compared to other externals. He has a self-atomic manipulation. One of his primary mutant abilities is to control over his atomic structure. This allows him to freely shape his body and modify it at will. He's got shape-shifting, size alteration, elongation, adaptability, regeneration, self-power bestowal, self-sustenance. He has immense superhuman strength. I mean, he was able to restrain the Hulk, which is something not many people were able to do. He was able to backhand a young Thor, which was so hard he could have beheaded him. And it headbutted him with such force that the impact sent shockwaves for 100 miles that he felt like his spine can take another hit like that. He's overpowered Colossus. There was a time where Polaris and Magneto had to restrain them together when he was poisoning with Rasivage on the sickbed during a treatment. He's basically fought a young Thor a couple of more times while being assisted by Jane Foster Thor. During the Croatian era, he was able to rip apart two Stark Sentinel Mark IIs and crushed a character known as Wrong Side. I don't know who the hell that is. With his bare hands and fed a dying Croatia with his blood. Apocalypse also punched Emma Frost so hard while she was in diamond form so hard that she flew off the Croatian island. He also has vast resistance to physical damage, meaning he's got 9 vulnerability. Superhuman stamina, superhuman speed, agility, reflexes. He's got enhanced senses. He's got super breath. Yeah, like a lot of characters don't have enough of that. He also got celestial energy manipulation, meaning he have a range of energy harnessing and projecting capabilities. He can do energy blast, energy absorption, energy transfer, teleportation, portal creation, force fields, matter manipulation. He even got some pretty powerful levels of some psychic ability. He has a psychic link, telekinesis, telepathy. He's got telepathic resistance. He can counterattack and resist telepathic intrusions. Apocalypse claims that a telepath once as strong as Rachel Summers would be able to breach his mind if he weren't poisoned and weak, and yet he still manages to push her out in the end. He has cyberpathy, meaning he can control. Yeah, he has synergy with his celestial technology. He can also have. I mean, he also has the ability to link up and control most of any kind of technology machinery he can reach out to. He can fly. He also has some expertise in sorcery. He has a super genius level intellect. He has omnilingual, meaning he can fluent in all human languages across history, including celestial. Even though he doesn't engage in personal combat, he is an expert combatant, meaning he's a ruthless combatant and was trained at a young age in both hand-to-hand and with weapons such as swords. He able to combine his powers alongside his martial skill in battle, and he also has indomitable will. He does have one weakness. He can only be killed by having his life force drained or heart eaten from a fellow external. But if an external fails to do so the same to the other externals, he'll come back again. Interesting. So yeah, that's it for Apocalypse. I hope you all enjoy this, and hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.